If someone had told you a few years ago that this was actually happening, you probably would have laughed them straight out of the room. But guess what? It's not just happening. It's happening with a bang. Ferrari has officially fired up the beast, the brand new SF25, right in the heart of Maranello. And let me tell you, that thing roared like a damn lion waking up from hibernation. The hype around this moment was through the roof. And oh boy, that engine did not disappoint. But what makes this machine so special? How have Ferrari's cutting-edge upgrades, combined with the arrival of a 7-time world champion, set the stage to shake up the entire F1 grid in 2025? Well, buckle up, because we're diving straight into the first ignition of Ferrari's SF25, breaking down the mind-blowing innovations built into this machine, and analyzing how Hamilton is adjusting to his brand new playground. Oh, and of course, we're going to discuss what all of this means for the upcoming season. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. So before we get started, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned until the very end because we've got some insane details that could change everything. Now, let's rewind to where it all went down. Maranello, the beating heart of Ferrari. Picture it. Epic music, applause, a lineup of Ferrari's top engineers, mechanics, and big bosses all gathered in one place. You had Frederic Vasseur, the team principal himself, standing there like a proud father. Piero Ferrari, watching with that legacy-filled gaze. And of course, CEO Benedetto Vigna, making sure everything ran smoother than a perfectly executed pit stop. They all witnessed the ceremonial first ignition of the SF25, a moment that wasn't just for show but a serious milestone. This wasn't just about pressing a button and making some noise. This was about proving that every component, every sensor, and every ounce of cutting-edge tech inside that car was functioning flawlessly. This ignition set the stage for the upcoming tests and the car's official debut. And let's talk about that sound. Engine sound experts, and by experts, I mean people who basically have gasoline in their veins, described it as raw, aggressive, and powerful. Translation: that thing is an absolute beast. The pure roar of the engine sent a wave of electricity through the Ferrari camp, sending shivers down everyone's spines at the thought of what this car could do. And trust me, this isn't just about making noise. That sound was a war cry. Ferrari is done playing second fiddle. This time, they're here to win, and they've built a machine to do exactly that. Now, let's talk about the man himself, Lewis Hamilton. The guy has spent over a decade living and breathing Mercedes, and yet, after hearing the SF25 roar to life, he took to social media and said he feels at home. Are you kidding me? That's a bold statement from someone who was basically part of the furniture at Mercedes. But that's what makes this so exciting. Hamilton is officially on a mission to grab that record-breaking 8th world title, and is going to do it wearing Ferrari red. So, what exactly is hiding under the hood of this beast? Ferrari hasn't just tweaked a few things here and there. Oh no, they've gone all out. They've taken a page from Red Bull's playbook, borrowing from the RB series aerodynamics to cut drag and refine airflow, ensuring that the SF25 slices through the air like a missile. The goal? Maximize cornering speed while maintaining straight-line performance. Because let's be honest, what good is a fast car if it handles like a shopping cart? This change is crucial for tracks like Monza and Silverstone, where speed and stability are everything. But that's not all. Ferrari has also ditched their old pushrod front suspension in favor of a pull rod setup. And if you don't know what that means, let me break it down for you. It's a game changer. This new system improves front-end grip and stability, meaning better control, tighter cornering, and a car that sticks to the track like gum on your shoe. Ferrari isn't here to mess around. They've built this car to be a championship contender, and with Hamilton behind the wheel, the entire F1 world better be ready. Because this, my friends, is about to be one hell of a ride. Now, let's be real. Ferrari isn't just tuning up a few parts on the SF25. No, they've gone full mad scientist mode, fine-tuning every single detail to squeeze out every last drop of performance. One of the biggest game changers is how this machine handles airflow at the front. They've crafted a design that ensures the air dances perfectly around the nose, giving the car insane aerodynamics. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. Ferrari has also completely overhauled the suspension, making the weight distribution smoother than Hamilton's racing lines, the steering response sharper than a samurai sword, and guess who loves it? Both Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc, soon to be best friends and bitter enemies on the grid. With this level of fine-tuning, Hamilton's driving style is going to fit this car like peanut butter and jelly. Or, in F1 terms, like Ferrari and heartbreak. But let's hope that changes now. Let's talk about how much of Hamilton's DNA is already embedded into this beast. Ferrari's engineers have basically rolled out the red carpet to make sure this car fits his needs like a tailor-made racing glove. One of the biggest changes? The braking system. They've redesigned it to be more aggressive under heavy load conditions. Because let's be honest, Hamilton loves throwing his car into a corner like a madman and somehow making it work. It's a trick he's used for years to steal crucial milliseconds in qualifying. And now Ferrari has built him the perfect tool to keep doing exactly that. And speaking of tools, under the hood, Ferrari has an entirely new power unit that has engineers grinning like kids in a candy store. The SF25's engine isn't just an upgrade. It's a full-on reinvention. They've improved thermal efficiency, enhanced energy recovery, and aim to squeeze out maximum power while staying within the strict 2025 fuel regulations. What does this mean? Simple. On longer races where fuel management and reliability make the difference between first place and heartbreak, Ferrari might have a serious edge. And let's not forget Ferrari's not-so-secret weapon, their wind tunnel. This high-tech playground in Maranello has been working overtime to refine the SF25's aerodynamics. Engineers have been running next-level simulations to find ways to make the car faster without turning it into an unreliable ticking time bomb. But, and here's the catch, early testing in Barcelona has already exposed a potential Achilles heel, tire temperatures. With Pirelli introducing brand new compounds for 2025, Ferrari is facing a small dilemma. If they can't figure out how to heat those bad boys up quickly, they're going to be sliding around like Bambi on ice, especially in cooler conditions. And let's be real, nobody wants to see that. So, how is Hamilton adapting to his new home? Leaving Mercedes after basically spending his entire life in F1 with them isn't a small change. It's like suddenly swapping out your old, comfy bed for a new one. It takes time to adjust. But if early signs are anything to go by, Hamilton isn't just adapting, he's embracing the challenge like a man on a mission. Since joining, he's been knee-deep in development work, actively shaping the SF25 by providing meticulous feedback during tire tests and simulator sessions. And let's be honest, when Hamilton talks, engineers listen. The higher-ups at Ferrari have already acknowledged how incredibly valuable his technical input has been. His ability to pinpoint exactly what a car needs, whether it's mid-corner balance improvements or better power delivery, has already accelerated Ferrari's development process. And this, my friends, is where the real war begins. Ferrari isn't just here to participate, they're here to shake the very foundation of Formula One. For over a decade, Maranello has been nothing more than a graveyard of unfulfilled potential, a team that constantly teases greatness but never quite delivers when it matters most. The heartbreaks of 2017 and 2018 still sting. The disastrous strategy calls, the questionable car concepts, the internal team chaos. Ferrari has made a habit of shooting itself in the foot more times than we can count. But 2025? This is the year they plan to change everything. This isn't just another flashy pre-season hype cycle. Ferrari is throwing every ounce of energy, money, and engineering brilliance into making the SF25 the machine that finally breaks their championship drought. They're done with the almosts and the what-could-have-beens. They're done watching Red Bull dominate while McLaren and Mercedes climb their way back into the fight. Ferrari wants to be the team that dictates the pace, that controls the narrative, that forces the rest of the grid to react. And their not-so-secret weapon? Lewis freaking Hamilton. Hamilton's move to Ferrari isn't just the biggest transfer in modern F1 history. It's a seismic shift that changes the entire sport. He's not just another driver looking for a fresh start. He's a seven-time world champion, one of the most successful, experienced, and relentless competitors to ever grace the grid. And now he's behind the wheel of a Ferrari, a team that has long craved a driver of his caliber. Someone who brings not just speed but an almost supernatural ability to extract every last drop of performance from a car. And let's be honest, Hamilton knows this is his last shot at glory. He's 40 years old. The younger generation, Leclerc, Verstappen, Norris, Piastri, are all nipping at his heels, ready to take the throne. But if there's one thing we know about Hamilton, it's that he thrives when he has something to prove. He's built his career on defying expectations, on making the impossible look effortless, and on silencing every doubter who dared question his greatness. Now, he has the ultimate challenge. Ferrari isn't Mercedes. The comfort, the familiarity, the fine-tuned dominance, it's gone. Hamilton is stepping into an entirely new world, one where he has to fight for control, where he has to battle not just his rivals but the internal politics of Ferrari itself. Because let's not pretend this is going to be smooth sailing. Charles Leclerc is no pushover. This isn't some fresh-faced rookie eager to play second fiddle. This is Ferrari's golden boy, the driver they've been building around for years, the man who was supposed to be their future. Now, he finds himself sharing a garage with the most decorated driver on the grid. And make no mistake, this is a battle. For years, Leclerc has had Ferrari wrapped around his finger. He's been their number one priority, the guy they've backed through thick and thin. But now he has to prove he's the top dog, that he can take on Hamilton and beat him in equal machinery. The tension is already brewing, even if everyone's still smiling in front of the cameras. And let's be real, Ferrari doesn't exactly have the best track record when it comes to managing internal rivalries. We've seen this story before. Alonso versus Massa. Vettel versus Leclerc. The moment two Alpha drivers go head-to-head at Ferrari, things get messy. And with a championship on the line? Oh, you better believe the gloves are going to come off. The early testing signs have already given us a taste of what's to come. Hamilton, despite only just stepping into Ferrari's ecosystem, is adapting at an alarming rate. His feedback has already reshaped parts of the SF25, and Ferrari's engineers are listening to him as if he's an F1 oracle. That's bound to rub Leclerc the wrong way. This is his team, his home, and yet, all of a sudden, Ferrari is bending over backward to make Hamilton feel comfortable. Leclerc, meanwhile, is responding the only way he knows how, by being blisteringly fast. His qualifying pace is already the stuff of legend, and in the early runs with the SF25, he's showing why Ferrari has bet on him for so long. He's pushing the car to its absolute limit, refusing to let Hamilton waltz in and take over. The battle for supremacy at Ferrari is already underway, and the season hasn't even started. But Ferrari's problems don't end there, because even if they have built a car capable of challenging for the title, even if Hamilton and Leclerc somehow find a way to coexist without tearing each other apart, there's still one massive obstacle standing in their way: Red Bull. For the last 3 years, Red Bull has treated the rest of the grid like background extras in their own personal highlight reel. Verstappen has turned F1 into his own playground, dismantling the competition with a level of dominance that borders on absurd. And the worst part, Red Bull isn't slowing down. If anything, they're only getting stronger. Adrian Newey and his team have built a dynasty, a machine that seems almost immune to regulation changes, performance drops, or challenges from rivals. Every time someone thinks they've caught up, Red Bull pulls another ace out of their sleeve. And while Ferrari is making big moves, Red Bull has been refining their already near-perfect formula, tweaking every detail to ensure they stay at the front. And it's not just Red Bull. McLaren is rising. Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri are proving that McLaren is no longer just a midfield team, they're legitimate threats. Their 2024 performances have shown that they have the speed, the consistency, and the development team to be serious contenders. And then there's Mercedes. Even after losing Hamilton, they're not dead yet. Toto Wolff has made it clear that they're planning a comeback, that they're using every lesson from their past failures to build a car that can bring them back to the front. You'd be a fool to count them out completely. So where does that leave Ferrari? In a war, not just against their rivals, but against themselves. The SF25 might be the most important car Ferrari has built in a decade. It represents their best shot at breaking the cycle of disappointment and finally reclaiming their place at the top. But to do that, they need to be perfect. No strategy disasters. No reliability nightmares. No internal implosions. The pieces are there. Hamilton, the greatest statistical driver of all time, desperate for that one final championship. Leclerc, the homegrown hero determined to prove he's the future. A car that, on paper, has the potential to be a genuine title contender. The stage is set for something legendary, but will it actually happen? Or are we about to witness yet another chapter in Ferrari's book of heartbreak? One thing is for sure, this is going to be one hell of a season. So what do you think? Will Ferrari finally dethrone Red Bull? Can Hamilton rewrite history and claim his 8th title? Will Leclerc rise to the occasion and cement himself as the true face of Ferrari? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you haven't already, hit that like button, smash subscribe, and turn on notifications because trust me, this season is about to be an absolute roller coaster, and you're going to want to be here.